It's the same. The same. The community is the Jewish community, and we are speaking about the Jewish community, and we don't speak about other communities, which we have to respect, and we have to live with good relations, neighbor relationship, side by side to them. But as I said before, we have to invest a lot more, because this is a small place, and we have to, for instance, to make such arrangements that Jews all over the world, and not just Jews, who wants to see the Wailing Wall, yes, the Western Wall, as it's called, more easily. It's this part of Jerusalem today is more or less like the new Jewish ghetto all over the world, because you can't turn in using your car. There is no enough parking place for all the tourists, Israel and abroad, that wants to come and to see Jerusalem. The government and the city hall has to invest a lot of more efforts to raise the level of this holy place.
And so you said that your family was one of the first families to come back to the Old City?
No, I didn't say so. We were not one of the first families. We were the first family that came back 3 days after this Holy Land was released during the 6 Days War. We were the first family to come back and to get into our apartment that we lost to Jordan when they conquered the place in 1948. We were robbed by the Arabs, and we became refugees. When we came back, we had to buy our home back from the Israeli government, but we did so. And my mother, Mrs. Rivka Weingarten, who was a great woman and a great lady. Here's the picture of my mother. Unfortunately, she passed away 4 months ago. Me and my sister came with her to live here in this building as the first family in the Jewish quarter. And she decided to start a new project here in this building. And she established the old Yishuv Court Museum in the first floor of our family building, of the Weingarten building. Okay? The old Court Yishuv Museum, which you have to see separately, it's another area in the building, is a very important museum that reflects the way the Jews used to live here during the last centuries, 3 or 4 centuries, till we were forced to live in 1948.
What do you remember as a boy? Like, how old were you when you came back? What was that experience like for you personally?
When we came back to the Jewish quarter, as I said before, it was 1967. I was 15 years old, and I'll say it again. When we came back, when we returned to our family apartment and building in the old city, I was 15 years old. It was very neglected. During the 19 years that Arabs lived in our apartment, in our building, they didn't do anything to keep it, to maintain it. It wasn't destroyed, thank God. I must say that during the 6 months, about a half a year, that the Jordanian army put a siege on the old city of Jerusalem, bombing heavily this area, our apartment and our building was not hurt and was not harmed. We think that this is because of the holiness of this place, of this synagogue. And because of the greatness of the rabbi who lived here and established this synagogue, Rabbi Chaim Ben Attar, Or HaChaim HaKadosh. We started immediately to renovate here the place and to open the synagogue that we are holding, first from any other synagogue in the old city of Jerusalem, to Torah and Tefillah, to regular and common activity of praying and learning Torah as it should.
What would you tell people who don't recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel?
Israeli people or
No,
American people?
people all over the world.
Look, you can't force anyone to believe in your ideas. But you can tell them and try to convince them that your ideas and your belief are true, are a part of a very, very, very long Jewish tradition. Jewish tradition that is written in the Bible, a book that hundreds of millions, even not and non-Jews, believes, which means it's not a fantasy, the connection between Israel and the Jewish people, okay? There is a lot of proofs to it. And Jerusalem was declared as the capital of Israel before the Israeli state was born in 1948, okay? In the years of King David, in the years of the first temple and the second temple, Jerusalem was the capital. No one can deny it unless he wants to deny it, and he insists to do so. Having Jerusalem as the capital of Israel, it's a fact. We know that there are politicals view that are preferring to ignore this fact and trying to be, let's say, more objective and more understanding to the other side of the Israeli-Arab conflict. I don't think so. I don't think that it is needed to try to, to twist the facts of the history, even if you want to be objective and even if you want to have a middle way of thinking. Jerusalem is the capital of Israel, and the one that does not want to believe it, I'm not angry about him. Okay? Everyone can believe whatever he thinks, and everyone can stick to his faults and to his mistakes. I think that it does not, this fact that Jerusalem is the capital of Israel does not hurt any way of thinking that other people have their own rights in other places. Okay? But here we are, since the day of Abraham Avinu, and this is the way that this is the place that we are going to stay, I believe, forever.
Can you give us some facts, like in complete sentences, how many Jews live in the old city now and what the size of it is? Do you know?
I prefer not to answer this question.
Anything else? I mean, did you tell them a little bit about the documentary at all?
In the emails to see, well,
Just give them like a 1 minute